Matches are made in heaven. The only match that's discussed with any real length and depth in the Torah is the shidduch between Rivka and Yitzchak. It's a shidduch nobody ever would have made on their own. First of all, geographically, they weren't in the same place at all. They were in two different countries. However, after who knows, we don't have information how much effort was made to find Yitzchak a wife in his own country. It became clear to everyone in the picture that they have to look further. So statement number one, if you don't find somebody where you are, look further. Next, Eliezer, who was sent to sort of scout out the scene on Yitzchak's behalf, made a bargain with God. He said, if the one who I see is the one who, when I say, give me water, shall give not only me but my camels, that's the one for Yitzchak. Okay? So you could think erroneously from there that you should say, whoever gives the waiter a really generous tip, that tells me this person is a decent person, a kind person, he's for me. No. So two things. First of all, don't make signs with God, because since you're not a prophet, like Avraham, one of the pillars of the world, you may or may not be worthy of getting a direct answer such as this. So what was Eliezer doing? Eliezer was working from his deep knowledge of Yitzchak. His knowledge of Yitzchak was such that he knew that Yitzchak needed somebody who could take his own love of structure and his own refinement of self and his own capacity for dedication and bring it outwards and soften it. So what he was looking for Yitzchak was somebody who could take what Yitzchak could provide and bring it further than it ever could if Yitzchak's capacity stayed within Yitzchak alone. So what that tells us is that the basic picture of what you're looking for in marriage is find a man who could provide you with what you need to build. Be sure that what he has is what you could build with. Next thing, he stated this condition in a way in which invariably the girl who would do this would be poor. Malbim points this out. Rich women wouldn't be down at the well bearing water. Their servants would be there. Another thing that he realized, because of the specific circumstances of Yitzchak's life, that his wife would invariably also be almost a disciple of his, because there was nobody else in the world who grew up in Avram's tent and who knew what Yitzchak knew. So it had to be a woman who wouldn't be so full of self that she had no room for anything else. This was also part of the picture. So what this tells us is that another very, very important statement in marriage would be that there has to be, on the woman's side, the ability to respect her husband. What men want most in marriage is to feel that what they have is significant to their wives, that they can contribute. That's what respect is based on. For a woman, the most important thing is intimacy and closeness, affection. Both want both. All men want affection, all women want respect. But the place they take is different. Men want respect and love. Women want love and respect. So Eliezer carefully found somebody who would respect Yitzchak. Next thing, he presented her with various sorts of jewelry that symbolized, and because of time limitations I can't take you through each of the symbols, the bases of the kind of people that Yitzchak saw himself participating in founding. People who had believed in revealed law, people who believed that God has a connection to man. So what that tells us, and she wanted it, is that the goals have to be compatible. Yitzchak was a striver beyond belief. There was no limits on where he would go. Rivka had to want to follow him there and to be with him. And she was there. Next thing that we see is that when Eliezer meets Lavan, he realizes that there was another condition that Avram had stated that Lavan met, which is that he was a relative. The reason why that was even in the picture is that, again, at the time, the family that had spiritual capacity was Avram's extended family. Lavan and Bethuel used it for the bad. Avram used it for the good, but there was capacity there. So a final thing is that we should realize that personality traits are usually inherent. Personality is inherent. Beliefs and opinions can change. So there has to be affinity not only of beliefs and opinion, but of personalities. When Rivka followed Eliezer to meet Yitzchak, she lowered herself from the camel. She covered herself with her scarf. She came from a place of innerness and modesty, willingness to receive from him. What inspired her? Not his great wealth. Remember, Eliezer came with 10 camels, with anything that a person could own in those days. That didn't move her. What moved her was seeing him pray the evening prayers. She was going the same direction that she had always wanted in her own life, when she let go of everything that her household represented, their cruelty, their promiscuity. She got her dream, but she had to live up to it. And this indeed is what matchmaking is about from the Torah's perspective.